So hello James, I'm Gail and I'm very happy to meet you in person in my good friend Patrick's store.
Thank you.
I'm very curious about how everything started. What's your profession before you created your own brand? And how did you fall in love with perfume?
Well, I never really had a profession. I studied philosophy at university in London. Then I read law, became a barrister, and I knew I had to do something creative. After starting a master's in law, I ended up leaving to go to Paris and trying to start a new, I suppose, life or adventure.
Okay. So which city you actually born in UK?
I was born in Halifax in Yorkshire.
What's your oldest scent memory related to perfume? It's like your scent of your mother or scent of your father, maybe?
I just remember something which was a little strange. Is I actually used to go to department stores. There weren't that many. During the school holidays, my father was going to come and pick me up from school, and I used to go into department stores and smell scent on the shelves. I think when you're young, I never smelled anything. I think that's amazing.
That's
I just
interesting.
realised that then looking back, I realised that I do have memories of collecting mint from the garden, for example, or the smell of mown grass. That's
that is a British scent, yes.
Yeah, I remember hyacinth in the winter, spring. I remember smelling roses in the garden at my grandparents' garden. Obviously the classic ones like cooking and bacon eggs on a Sunday morning.
It's very interesting that because I also interviewed lots of grass-born perfumer who will tell their childhood story about how they're connected to perfumes from their parents, from their grandparents. But you seems like want to do it and the heart is come from nowhere. It just suddenly just pop up and you did a perfume brand.
Well, I don't think it's any different to anybody else. I think we're all the same. It's not because you write music that you appreciate music more than someone who doesn't write music. It's not because you're an artist or a photographer that you see beauty better or stronger than anybody else. We all share these things, and I think it's just a language that you have to learn.
Okay.
So I think there's a lot of fake romance around perfume. There's a lot of cliches about memory. Well, of course it's about memory, but it's about the present. It's about the future. It's just a sense.
It's a very interesting answer. So you mentioned you studied philosophy in your university, right? And what's your perfume making philosophy, if there is a philosophy?
It's just part of my outlook on part of my taste or my aesthetic world.
Yeah. So you are one of few British perfumers. Do you consider Heeley has an English spirit?
Inevitably so, but I haven't lived in England since I left university. So
it's like 10 years maybe already.
I won't say it's quite a long time ago. So
I can see that because you just say water instead of water. So I think yes, I think you live in the mainland very long time. I think yes. So let's talk about our partner like NICHE now. Why did you choose them to be your retailer, and how did you meet at the first place?
Well, first of all, they are specialized in scent.
Yes.
People who are looking for scents of a certain type, they're better suited to people who are passionate and know what they're talking about. Speaking about my scents, they are of a certain nature. They're probably more difficult to understand or perhaps more detailed than a lot of mass market brands. People are looking for something special will probably find it here as opposed to
compared to the big. Yeah, exactly.
It's just a more personal service, and services and knowledge is very important.
That stop is Japan and South Korea. What is the difference of the perfume market of these two, and including Hong Kong, you think?
I really don't know.
Let me twist the questions. What is your best seller in Japan and South Korea?
I should know, shouldn't I? But
you should know this at least.
I guess it's the same style here. I would say Salmarin, Menthe Fraîche, Note de Yuzu. But not only, actually, I was very surprised that in Japan, where I thought that people really didn't like strong scents.
Which was strong scent?
Arglewood and Eau Sacrée are quite
growing
well
fast.
accepted. Yeah.
So, since you're speaking of the strong scent, this vetiver one is actually quite strong as well, but it is very popular in mainland. My friend who is interested in perfume as well, and they really love this one. And I think it's kind of.
Me too. I really love this.
Yeah, I know you. It is.
So I wear it all the time.
It's your signature actually. And this one is actually one of quite strong vetiver compared to other very light vetiver, but it's very popular in mainland China. And among with the Iris one. This mint one is your first creation, right? I remember.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
What is the story behind this one?
The idea actually came to me when I was walking in Corsica. and in Corsica,
The island.
yeah. I mean, so it's like actually you have a lot of scents that are good and not so good in perfume. In some vetiver you have almost the smell of burnt rubber. You can have a kind of potato smell. The better the extraction, the more it's looking to retain the good aspects and sort of get rid of the less pleasing ones.
Okay.
Patchy can sometimes smell of damp
Yeah.
paper, but a good extraction will try and highlight the better notes.
Okay. So extraction is very important, you think?
Yeah.
And how about extraction compared to the skill of making perfume?
Makes it easier because it's also about trying to highlight the notes you like and hide the notes you don't like. It's also trying to make a scent wearable. That's to say, stay on the skin. If you just people say, why don't you just take jasmine essence and put it on the skin? Well, A, you couldn't because of allergens. B, it would probably be way too expensive. And C, it wouldn't last on the skin. So the perfumer is trying to do all of these things whereby you make something that's not so wearable. What was quite original about mint Montfresh at the time is that mint is not really an ingredient that you use in perfume as a principal note. It's used as an ancillary note in trace quantities to give freshness and give sense of life. It's very difficult, but it's a challenge to make something like mint elegant, and I think that's one of one of the characteristics.
Yes, of this one.
Whenever I try to make it elegant, wearable, and interesting.
Interesting, wearable, and elegant. Yeah. You have your own Heeley trademark of perfume, but I can't describe it before I today met you. But I think these three words just.
Well, I can't really describe it either, but I can just say that what I like are elegant, natural, distinctive scents, and I'm not looking to be super original. I'm just looking to enjoy wearing them.
Okay.
Scent is I think important, and it's just like good food or good wine or good music. It's a joy. You have to remember it's a gift from nature. Nature is exceedingly complex, but it appears so simple. I think that's what I try to achieve in scent.
That's a very impressive answer indeed, I'm saying. Not what I'm expecting, but very impressive. Very good. So tell me more about your new candle collection, like the package or the scent you choose, maybe.
The glass is actually
Dark.
handmade. It's made in stained glass as opposed to being lacquered, which is very difficult to do now. Very difficult to find manufacturers able to do that. And I find the sense they're all related to maybe one of the perfumes, most of them are, but it's a very, very different process making scent for a candle as opposed to eau de parfum. I find it actually probably more difficult to do it well, because it's not just the case where you take, a scent like Cardinal or whatever, or Saint Laurent, and put it into a candle. Because for me it doesn't work. You have to do a scent specifically to burn. So each scent of these candles is made to burn as a candle, and takes a lot of time to actually calibrate, and so it doesn't smoke too much, and it burns properly. A lot of I think brands do just use the same perfume in the candle, but to me it doesn't work. It's not optimal. When you're making a very delicate or very, very detailed perfume, half of it's lost in the candle.
Okay.
It's a very different way of smelling something. And to actually make it work as a candle, to make it really efficient, you actually have to make a specific scent, which is what I've done for this.
That's very interesting. So
a lot of scent doesn't actually burn very well. Like incense, you think it would burn really well, but it's a nightmare to burn in a candle.
you mean the incense oil, like?
Yeah, the extract. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
So actually, a lot of the resins, the woody resins, are difficult to burn.
what ingredients are easy to burn, and you mix it into your own candles, like?
It really depends, but basically the heavier the substance, the more difficult it is to burn.
Okay. So how do you define a candle to burn beautifully?
I like a candle to burn so it's
Slowly, maybe.
No, actually, I like to burn quite quickly because I have a strong flame. I don't like this little tiny flame.
So you should have 3 wicks instead of only 1, right?
But that's because if you have a bigger surface, bigger candle, you need more wicks. If you have a small candle, usually they don't really work. But what's really important with the candle is actually to keep it clean, the wick.
Yes.
And after a while, you start to get like a kind of bulb, a mushroom type formation on the wick. You have to, if you see that, You have to let it blow it out so it cools down and then cut the wood.
It's like doing a little gardening work, right? Like fixing it.
Exactly.
I'm not sure, but I also read in one interview said I think it's an official one, very brief, very short, a lot of small questions, and you just answer them in 1 or 2 sentences.
Yes.
An official one. It's actually quite interesting. Yeah, but during that interview, I think maybe Heeley is an art and music loving man. Are you?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of art or music you're particularly fond of?
No.
Too much.
I've always loved music, so only music I don't really like is jazz. I love classical music. I probably listen to the majority of music I listen to is electronic.
Really?
A lot of yeah. I love all the Brit pop like the Smiths. And
Oh. Have you joined a band in your high school? I think almost every British boy joined one. No.
No, it's kind of something I regret because I think well I sing quite well.
Any one of your creation is related to the art or music you like?
I think there's a bit of art and music in everything, in all my perfumes, because that's part of imagery.
Okay.
And, when I think of scent, I also think of colors, textures. I think it's more sculptural almost, it's more visual than it is musical.
So you mean it's not only about one dimension? For example, this one I remember, it is a scent you actually created for your girlfriend at that time because she said she had no scent to wear.
I just made it for her because I just thought it was like just.
It's so sure. Okay.
And it's also inspired by her family house, which is in Brittany, which is a garden.
So your inspiration is always very integrated. It's not like one song, one thing or something. It's very
It's more
integrated.
like a diary. actually.
Yeah,
A diary.
exactly.
So also, why do you make sense there? Or how do you come up with it?
I know that's
It's
a
more like
boring
diary.
question, but I have to ask.
It's not a boring question, but it's just.
Yeah.
You
Often.
say, I don't know. I find a lot of scent concepts are really dull and redundant. And scent is about scent. That's why you make music because you like music because you want to hear something that pleases you, gives you satisfaction. That's why I make scent because it's kind of essential.
One last question is, which one of your creation you think suits me best?
Now that's a question I can never reply because I can't just look at you. Scent is so personal, and it's not because you're pretty and young or whatever that you can't wear something
Heavy
heavy,
or
smoky,
animalic?
and
Okay.
vice versa. It's not because you're a man that you can't wear a jasmine.
So it's about me. Yeah, it's about
It's
my.
about you, but I can help you, direct you, and say, oh, I like this. But I can't actually choose one for you. It's totally the opposite to fashion wise, whereby in fashion you can think you want to look like somebody, you want to look cool or whatever. Scent you can't. It's not, you either like it or you don't. You can't lie to yourself. You can't pretend. There's no point. What's the point?
Which scent of yours you're most proud of?
I'm not really proud of
Anyone?
anything. I'm
You're
not
so
proud
chill, man. You're so
I'm not
chill.
really proud of anything. I'm not proud of anything.
Okay.
It's, I always try and make something. I'm always a little disappointed. I always decide that I can make. I want perfection, and I never find it. I always try my best, and I'm always disappointed. So nothing's ever good enough. Just awful. But I'm very much like that. I think I'm more happy when I don't know, listen to the birds sing or look at a mountain or something much bigger. That's it.
Yeah.
But I'm not proud.
What is your recent finished book?
I think it was A Little Life, it was called, and it was the most horrific story. Absolutely terrible. But
Oh.
one of my favorite books, like The Chaffinch or The Goldfinch by Donald Tom.
Okay.
I think it was just superb.
I will mark it after we finish it. Very nice to talking with you, really. You are so different from any other perfumer or brand owner I've interviewed. You have your own spirit, and it's
Really?
very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
Me too.